My name is Andrew Filmer. I'm here to give a friendly introduction to Zoom. If you're a student, chances are your lecturer will send you an invitation, and that link should provide you direct access. However, you could also press the join button. You could put in the meeting ID, which should be in the invitation, and then you can decide if you're never going to use your video, if there are lots of people in the class and video is not necessary, you can always click this off, but you can also do that once the meeting has begun. So let's just not bother with this for now, and let's just begin a new meeting. So this is what a new meeting looks like, and you can see that I am in one of the ideal locations in the lockdown, but of course this is not the case. I'll click here with join with computer audio and everything will be fine. If you click here, you can see that you can choose a virtual background and now you're in my house. Okay, so that's just one of the little tweaks, little bells and whistles of Zoom. What's important is all of these things except for reactions, which is just to make myself feel good, as you can see over here. What's more important, the ways that we use the mute button, the audio settings, which you can find from here, how to stop your video, and actually your video settings. That's what we'll do first. After that, we'll talk a little bit about managing your participants, and then finally share screen. But before we move on, just a reminder for lecturers, they should always press this. Yeah, the record button is really important because that keeps a record of the entire lesson, number one. But number two, people who couldn't make it, they at least can review the session to see what they missed. So that's really quite important, and it's a requirement too. So let's start over here in the lower left-hand corner. You can see that there's a mute button. Actually, you can see it's more I talk that, the more the green button goes on, which basically means that my voice is being transmitted. But with a class of 10, 15 people, you don't necessarily want everybody's microphones to be on, so you could just press mute. And you're still hearing my voice because I'm recording this through an external microphone. Okay, but in reality, what will be happening is that you wouldn't be transmitting your audio. Now, you can always just press unmute in order to participate vocally in a discussion, but I find it quite interesting to just leave it kind of permanently muted, and as you can see, hold the space key to temporarily unmute. So I'm just going to press the space key right now, and you can see that there is a little bit of a green light at the bottom. You can't see the entire thing over there, but it says temporarily unmuted. That's what it says. So you can do this by keeping yourself muted, but then decide to speak in by pressing the button. Pretend you're in the UN or something like that. Right, next is here. You can see that I'm connected through my MacBook Pro microphone, my MacBook Pro speakers, but I do recommend that you have headphones if you have headphones, or if they do allow you to connect to that's by Bluetooth or something. It's really useful sometimes, simply because if the audio goes out through your computer speakers, then it loops itself and you hear lots of echoes. So I do recommend having headphones if you have headphones, and it's fine if you don't. It's important to click the audio settings, and a few things will happen. Well, first of all, you'll see that my voice is coming out pretty clearly through the automatically adjusted microphone volume. But in certain cases, we've found that somebody is speaking, but they can't be heard clearly, and we're not sure why. So in those cases, what happens is that the automatically adjusted volume is not helping you. So you need to unclick this, and then you can make yourself, if you put it here, for example, then suddenly I'm very, very quiet. You don't notice this because I'm on an external microphone, or you can put it like here and suddenly I'm really, really loud. So most cases, the automatically adjusted microphone volume will be fine. However, in some cases, you may need to adjust this. Prof. George has been really helpful in letting me know about advanced functions. So you click that one, and you click this to allow your original sound, as you can see, right? That's really important for like music lessons, because for some reason, some of our instruments are read or heard by the machine as background noise. So that's why I've disabled these two. but I've left echo cancellation on, so it's really quite important if you're having one-to-one music lessons, right? So once again, you go here, audio settings, you can check your microphone here, you can test it, you can turn off the automatic setting, you can press advanced here at the bottom, and you disable these and press enable original sound. All these are useful things to have. You can of course stop your video as well, and suddenly there'll just be an icon. So we're just recording this by voice, or you can turn it back on. So if you're having some bandwidth issues, or if you're worried about your data or something, you certainly turn off your video once the meeting has started if you haven't already done so. Video settings, quite important. You click this and you delete the enable HD. So you don't want to have to, I mean, connectivity issues, unless you're really certain that your Wi-Fi is amazing and you want everybody to see things in full high definition, you can do that. I find it interesting that there's also touch up my appearance. So you can see that it sort of smooths out my skin. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, but you know, reality sets in, right? Manage participants. If you click here, you can see how many people. It's only me. Everybody is me. Okay, so if there was a list here, if it was a classroom, of course that would be quite different. And you could actually mute or unmute certain people here if you're the lecturer over here. So that's an interesting way of dealing with that. Let's click this away. All right. So that's managing your participants. The chat group is also quite interesting. Here, like I said, I am everyone, so you can't communicate to anybody except me. But if there were more people here, you could initiate individual chats and send individual files to individual people instead of sending it to the entire group. So that's quite useful to have. Okay, so let's get out of that. Share screen button is going to be really, really quite important. Okay, especially for the lecturer, but also for the students to share certain things. So if you click here, you'll find that I have these four, which will be kind of standard for Zoom. This will come in no matter what you have on, but I already had iTunes on, so you could actually, I could go to iTunes and let you listen to something and you could see me doing that. However, if you just click right now, you'll find that you won't hear anything from my iTunes, because what's important is that you click this one here, share computer sound, before you do that. Okay, so if it's something completely visual, you don't have to do that, but if you're trying to share some music, then you need to click this in order to be heard, right? So let's say that I want to share my desktop. So right now, what you should see is, let me see if I can close this actually. Yeah, you should see some of my desktop now. So some of my Zoom lessons are ready and the file. So if you wanted to show somebody that, you can see also that I can stop sharing at any moment over here, and I'm still available over here. So if you need to share the desktop, that's what you need to do. And of course, if you have any other programs on, like PowerPoint, then then it should be recording that instead. Okay. What else? I think with share screen. Yes, I think that's about it for now. So I think we're gonna end off with me being on a beach somewhere. I think that's gonna be more fun. Yeah. So with that, I really hope that you don't get too worried about using Zoom. It's actually not too scary a device to use, but you do have to find out where all the buttons work and know how to really know how to set your settings, right? Especially your sound settings, your video settings, so that you enable the best connectivity possible. With that, I'm going to click here to end the meeting for all of us. Here's hoping that you're well, you're safe, and that soon we can get back to a normal education. Take care, everyone. Oh, bye-bye.